We get to think of life as an inexhaustible well, yet everything happens a certain number of times, and a very small number, really. How many more times will you remember a certain afternoon of your childhood, some afternoon that's so deeply a part of your being that you can't even conceive of your life without it? Perhaps 4, 5 times more? Perhaps not even. How many more times will you watch the full moon rise? Perhaps 20? And yet it all seems so limitless. That's a favorite quote of mine by Paul Bowles, who wrote The Sheltering Sky. I often think about this quote. I think it has a lot of depth, because we often do kind of think of life as being somewhat limitless. Yes, we know we'll die, but wherever we are, we often think, especially in our youth, that time is nowhere near. It's nowhere close. And so we put things off. We don't treat people the way that we should sometimes. Sometimes we don't do things that we really should do. And I think that's especially true when it comes to being creative and showing up for ourselves and putting aside all those words of judgment. All those voices can really hold us back. It can prevent us from moving forward. Even if you know that your skills are getting better, those voices can haunt you. Sometimes they're echoes of other people's voices. And with those words, you can often think, I'm not talented. I'm not capable of being an artist. And maybe you aren't, but who cares? If you want to be creative, whether it is painting or drawing or sculpture, or if you want to do abstract work, or if you want to do something creative with cloth or printmaking, do those things, because life isn't limitless. Now's the time. Do it anyways. Do it for yourself. Show up for yourself. And in the mere act of showing up for yourself and showing up for the work, you will get better, regardless. Talent is really only a determination. Now, who really knows why those determinations are put more in place for others innately? As for myself, I know I'm a right-brained person. I'm a very visual-driven person. Even though I do like some more logical things, science and things like that. I like topics like that. But at my core, I'm a very visually driven person. And I'm not sure if that is why I have always, for as long as I can remember, been driven to try to create with a pencil or anything that I had at my fingertips, at my availability. There was never a time that I can remember that I wasn't interested in doing those things. So maybe that's why I've always pushed forward and that I'm at the stage that I'm at. And it's not that I still don't have room for improvement. Life is a whole process of learning, and I know that I change, and I'm always striving to change. Even now, I'm trying to loosen up in my style. My personal goal is to move into the middle zone, the dance, the perfect dance between more of an abstract and representational version of my work. And that's something I've been wanting for quite a while. And so I've been working on that a little bit more. I think it's when I'm really focused on drawing and really working on small pieces that it's easier for me to get tight. So that's why Recently, I've been working on some paintings. I've been trying to utilize some of those resources that I've gained over time. For example, last week when I shared my last video, I had my first, what I called quote unquote, sketch session. And I went out, if you didn't see the video, I went out in the woods, one of my favorite places that I love to go. And I set up my camera and I filmed a whole video where you could sit and just draw with me, basically uninterrupted. But I was just doing quick sketches in my sketchbook like I often do, which I love. But I came back home and I utilized my resources to open up that same video, and I took some screenshots. So that's what I'm showing today is I took some screenshots of what I shared last week. And you can do the same thing. You could either go back and watch that video and sit for the 15 minutes that I had allotted where we're just sketching just like you were right there with me. Or you can do screenshots like what I did, and I zoomed in and I found areas of interest. And so I decided, let me find something that interests me and I will paint it. So I got out my oils and my little pochade box and I worked on this little painting, trying to be mindful of focusing on values and the different variations of hues that I was seeing in that screenshot, and trying not to be tight. And I think I was fairly successful. But all that coming back to what I was talking about earlier was that life is a journey. You always need to be moving forward, and don't let all those inner judgments hold you back from living your best life. On and off in my life, I have taken yoga classes. I've always enjoyed it. And then several years ago, I was doing it very regularly. And I finally decided, well, let me actually take a class. So I actually took a training class. It was the first level Hatha yoga training class. And as a part of the training, some of the things that they tell you to do is to not allow any inner judgments and not allow any outer judgments. Just being present on the mat, on your place, focusing on your positions and just allowing your body to relax. And I feel that art has a lot of similarities. Even though it's very easy to do, it's very easy to get into a mode of judgment. Don't allow those voices to creep in and whisper things like you're not talented. You are an amazing, unique human being. You are an amazing creation. And you are so complex and filled with so much beauty that I know that if you just allow yourself to just open up and let everything go, just let the world fade away, just sit down with a piece of paper or some basic materials or whatever it is that you really love, just let everything fade away and just paint, draw, create anyways. So that is my thoughts for today that I wanted to share with each and every one of you. But one last thing before I let you go, I want to remind you, if you didn't see last week's video, I am going to be doing a sketchbook challenge for the month of June. And if you would like to join me, let me know. Next week, I'm probably going to be doing a video about the upcoming challenge and the types of things that I want to pull together. So you might want to come and check that out. Even if you feel like you can't do anything, let's just do it anyways. I don't care if you're just scribbling. Do it to make yourself feel better. Let's just play. So that's what I have in store for next week and for the month of June. And with that, I guess I will leave you here with that. And I wish you all have a beautiful, blessed, and creative week ahead. And I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.